The Third Amendment says no soldier shall be quartered in a house in a time of war without the owner's permission. Okay, you got me on that one. So far, we haven't violated the Third Amendment on the war on drugs. The Fourth Amendment, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated. How many people's rights have been violated in search and seizures by cops over the war on drugs? Yeah, too many. In fact, I want to tell you a little story about this Fourth Amendment thing. This is something that's going on in the Supreme Court right now in front of the United States Supreme Court. There's a case called Kentucky v. King. And the way that it goes is like this. Cops had a warrant to go to an apartment complex and serve it on that apartment. Go up the hall, that apartment, that's your drug warrant. The cops go up to the hall, they hear voices and smell pot from that door. Not that door that's on the warrant, but the door across the hall. They knock, they hear a bunch of scuttling and running around, they figure they're trying to destroy evidence, they break down the door and they catch these guys smoking pot. These guys go to jail. And what is up to the Supreme Court to decide right now, and they are literally talking about this, is whether or not the smell of pot alone is enough for a cop to break down your door. And of course, if this goes the way the cops want it to go, and Lord knows Scalia and Alito and all these guys are wanting to give it to them, if it goes their way, what's to stop the cops from just saying, oh, I know, hey, there's an apartment building, let's walk up and down the halls until we smell something. Is that the America your forefathers fought for? We are on the 400th year of cannabis on this continent. 1611, the first American settlement in Jamestown. Those colonists grew hemp, and hemp was grown all the way through this country through 1940s. Let's get back to our civil rights here. The Fifth Amendment. No person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless a presentation of the grand jury, no double jeopardy, those kind of things. Of course, we find all sorts of cases where people are busted for drugs and they get innocent on the drug charge, but they get their stuff taken away for civil asset forfeiture. Y'all heard of that? Civil asset forfeiture? What that is a part in American law that says your property committed a crime. Your house, by existing, because you're a druggie and made all your money from drugs, your house is committing a crime, and we're the government, we're going to take it from you. You don't even have to be charged with a crime in order for your stuff to be taken from you over this war on drugs. And your house, your car, your bank accounts are guilty until proven innocent. You have to go to court and prove that the $12,000 in your bank account was really yours and didn't make it from some weed. And of course, how do you hire a lawyer when the $12,000 in your bank account has been seized by the government? So much for your Fifth Amendment right. Your Sixth Amendment right, speedy trials, impartial juries. Right. Has anybody here heard of a concept called testifying? Yeah. Testifying. This is when cops will get on the stand and bold-faced lie about what's going on in a criminal case. Our Sixth Amendment rights violated every day in this war on marijuana. Seventh Amendment, suits shall be tried by juries. You'll have jury trials. Now, how many people get busted on pot charges and get told by their public pretender not to go for a jury trial? Our Seventh Amendment rights. Our Eighth Amendment rights. No cruel and unusual punishment.
I don't know if you know. Hey, I appreciate you doing this. It's really great. I just want to let you know.
Your Ninth Amendment right. The enumeration of the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage others dictated by the people. The Ninth Amendment basically says if the Constitution doesn't say something about it, it's your right. Now, I scanned this document and I looked for the word cannabis. I looked for the word hemp, but I looked for the word marijuana, and it's not in here. That tells me, under the Ninth Amendment, we have the right to grow any damn crop God gave to us. The Tenth Amendment, the powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited to it by the states, are reserved to the states or the people. This is known as the States' Rights Amendment. You think we got states' rights to do what we want about marijuana? No. So, in every one but the Third Amendment, our rights are violated because of this stupid war on a planet. There are 850,000 Americans busted every year on marijuana charges. The DEA is a bureaucracy of 10,000 employees and a $2.6 billion budget. This has got to stop. Who wants to legalize marijuana here? Who wants to legalize industrial hemp? But when you think about it, the industrial hemp thing is the dumbest part of the war on drugs. The DEA, the Drug Enforcement Administration, is in charge of banning a plant that is not a drug. Drug enforcement, not a drug. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense, does it? Of course, we do have a Department of Defense that's in charge of committing offices, so things are weird in the government, but we live with it sometimes. Industrial hemp, there's no reason it should be illegal. Banning industrial hemp because it looks like pot is like banning powdered sugar because it looks like cocaine. Industrial hemp planted on just 6% of arable U.S. farmland would create enough diesel fuel to run every vehicle in America. If they were all diesel, but they're not, but it would. How many farms out here in Texas have gone under lately? Yeah. How many farmers are struggling to have a crop that they can make any money on? Every damn day, I know. We got farmers around, we got farmers in Texas, they're all struggling, and we won't let them grow industrial hemp. Meanwhile, in Canada, they're about to grow industrial hemp. Farmers in Manitoba are making $80 per hectare on their hemp crops. Now, for comparison's sake, you might think, hectare, I don't know what that is, $80, is that a lot? The average crop in America or Canada reaps about $80 a hectare. They're making 10 times more growing industrial hemp. It is time to allow our farmers to grow that industrial hemp. Let's talk about cotton. A lot of you guys might be wearing blue jeans out there. Something made out of cotton, right? Keep cotton. Cotton takes 50% of the world's pesticides and irrigation water. Take all the other crops, corn, soybeans, alfalfa, everything else, hay, everything else. Cotton takes half the water and pesticides in this country. And understand that these pesticides that we're talking about oftentimes are oil-based. They come from petroleum. The fertilizers that we are using on our crops come from petroleum. How many people got these water bottles? Those water bottles come from petroleum. Everything comes from petroleum, and everything you can make from petroleum, you can make from hemp seed oil. So it only makes sense that we should grow our way out of this.
Woo! Yeah!
How many people here have relatives, family, or friends serving in the United States Armed Forces overseas? How many think any of them should be shot and killed over a $4 gallon of gas?
I can't see it.
How many of our soldiers do you think would be stationed in the Middle East if instead we were growing crops of hemp to solve our fuel problems instead of going to the Middle East to get the oil? Every problem we've got in this country, almost every problem we've got can be solved from hemp. And then let's talk about the other big public policy issue in America, healthcare. We know Mr. Obama tried to pass healthcare. We know everybody talks about healthcare, health insurance, healthcare, health insurance. Why are we refusing to allow people to treat themselves with a common, non-toxic, easy-to-grow, effective plant? Why do we do this? Very good. You win. I don't know what you win, but you win. It's exactly right. The pharmaceutical industry contributed $29 million to the election campaign of Barack Obama, and they are one of the largest contributors to all of the election campaigns in the House, the Senate, the President, and so forth. The markup on an average pill, like Prozac or Lipitor or whatever, the markup from the cost it makes to produce that pill to what they sell it for is between 25,000 and 150,000%. So do you really think GlaxoSmithKline and Pfizer and Merck want to see you growing a plant and treating yourself?